We have awards, there are a few of them to acknowledge electric vehicles as a unique and disruptive industry right here in New Zealand. So, I'm just going to let you know that we have sponsors. We can't hold fabulous events like this without them. So can I acknowledge the categories and the sponsors before we kick off and dish them out? The SME EV Award tonight, thank you to the lovely folk, Julian and co at Meridian, the Fleet Champion of the Year, thanks to Drive Electric. The Most EV-Friendly Town Award, I'm not going to lie, it's one of my favourites. Thank you to the marvellous crew of Yugo Share for sponsoring that great award. EV Sales and Service Champion, thank you to Wellington Institute of Technology and Whitireia Community Polytechnic, and the EV Champion of the Year Award. It's like the Best Picture Award at the Oscars, it's kind of the big one. And Ecotricity, thank you for your sponsorship of that award. Now, there are nominations, and of course there can be only one winner. If you are invited to the stage, and you will be, you're allowed to make a few words. In fact, you can kind of talk as long as you like until the Oscars orchestra drums you off. But please, you're welcome to come up and you can accept your award. You will get a new Facebook profile pic, of course, so you will get your photo taken up here on stage while everyone stares at you. It's not remotely awkward at all. And then down in front of the media wall afterwards. Can I just remind you guys, like last year, we love a good group photo. So at the end of the awards, if all our winners wouldn't mind gravitating to the media wall, that's exactly what we shall do. All right, I kind of feel like you've heard enough from me already. So let's have a gander at some awards. And before I do that, thank you to the sponsors, but also thank you to the judges, because of course you can't dish out awards without judges. So thank you to Stella Stocks from AA, Liz Yeaman from Retina Consulting, and Mike Underhill. Thank to the three of them. Conferenz would also like to thank for their time and expertise, because you have to evaluate every single entry. It's not an easy job, it takes a lot of time, and we're very grateful for their contribution and for the tough decisions they've had to make. Without further ado, the SME EV Champion of the Year sponsor is of course Meridian Energy, and we have the lovely Julian Smith, who's the Chief Customer Officer. I'd like to welcome you to the stage, Julian, to present our first award.
Everyone, health and safety moment. Kia ora koutou everyone. Pleasure to be here, Julian from Meridian Energy. And I guess first and foremost, I just really want to acknowledge the sort of early adopters and pioneers in this room who have really championed the cause of EVs in New Zealand. At the end of July, 9,241 electric vehicles registered in New Zealand. With a bit of luck, we can get that to over 10,000 by the end of the weekend. But just a sincere thank you for the work that you're doing. And there's a lot of Meridian folk here tonight, so make sure you kind of hit us up and tell us how we can give you more support. And many of you will know that at Meridian we only produce 100% clean energy, 100% renewable energy, so we're really passionate about the environment and sustainability, and electrifying our transport sector is probably the biggest opportunity we have in New Zealand to actually do something really positive for the environment. So again, anyone who's passionate about that topic, head up the old Meridian Energy folks and tell us what you want us to be doing more of to support you. And that's a nice little segue for me to actually acknowledge this category. I'm particularly excited that we're sponsoring the small business and medium-sized business category. For those of you that own a small business, I just want to acknowledge kind of the guts and courage that it takes to kind of quit a day job like I've got and go out on your own and start a business. Many of us forget that it's in fact the small and medium-sized businesses around the country that usually give our kids their first job, that you employ a third of the workforce. You deliver 40% of the GDP, and frankly, you're kind of the engine room of the economy. So I'm absolutely stoked that we get to acknowledge two very special folks this evening and organisations who are really charting a brave new world for small businesses and electric vehicles. The SME EV Award is open to small and medium-sized organisations with revenues under 30 million per annum. It's designed to recognise those smaller businesses who are making a conscious choice to commit resources and foster the adoption of EV technology. The nominations are to be a nominee in this category, you are required to provide a summary of your business, your revenue, how you operate in the market, your value proposition, and why EVs are just so important to you and your market and customer. And you also really need to share with us the business results and outcomes that you have realised by adopting or driving the adoption of EVs within a fleet or business. And we have two fantastic finalists this evening. So I'm a big supporter of small business, so I'm going to rousing round of applause and maybe not too many broken glasses for EVs Enhanced and OEM Audio, who are our finalists this evening. And the winner of the SME EV Award of the Year is EVs Enhanced. Walter is awesome, so welcome, awesome Walter. Let me give you a little congratulations. I think we're going to have a little... And let me just say a few words about the amazing work that Walter's doing. So EVs Enhanced have addressed and found the solution to a major problem for consumers for by far the most important second-hand EV imported vehicle by developing English language conversion for the Leaf. Any dealer can use the solution to quickly and cost-effectively change the small dashboard display to English. Walter and EVs Enhanced have also worked to provide strong technical knowledge and support in battery technology, which I know is a big topic of conversation, and already 3 people tonight, Walter, have pointed out to me the great work that you're doing in that space. Congratulations, much deserved. We're stoked that you've won. Do you want to say something?
Thanks to everyone and anyone who was involved in us getting this award. It's really motivating for me, and I'm sure it will be for the rest of my team back in Christchurch. But we wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for the excellent support that we've enjoyed from all of our partners around the country. So I'll say a few words about them. Our partners have been selected by us. We've selected them based on their enthusiasm and experience with selling electric vehicles, and we think that they're playing a really pivotal role in the adoption of EVs through our country. We'd also like to especially thank our first partner, GPI Electric. Hayden and his team were very encouraging in the early days of EVs Enhanced, and without their support, I may not have decided to put all my efforts into the company. Something else I was going to say.
You're going to thank me, Walter, remember?
It's a good point, actually. So Paul at OEM was actually the one who introduced me to Hayden, so he probably wasn't thinking about that at the time when I was going to see his trophy. So yeah, it's been a lot of hard work, but I thoroughly enjoy what I'm doing, and when that's the case, it never really feels like hard work. We've already had some successful projects, but I think we're only getting started, and the best is definitely yet to come from us. Thanks.
Great to be here. I was just saying to a couple of people before that if you had this event 5 years ago, there'd probably be 2 of us or maybe 3 of us around one of these bar leaders, and we'd all each be saying to each other who's going to buy the next round of drinks to us. And you can see the changes happen both in the community that worry about EVs and the advancement. Now, Drive Electric, for those of you that aren't aware, we're a not-for-profit organisation, and we've got one very clear goal. We're a bunch of people that want to mainstream EVs. We all have other day jobs, but we actually want to give back to the community, so we bring a group of people together. I'm the automotive representative on the board, and I've got a day job, and the rest of the directors have their own jobs, but we try and sort out solutions to problems that are going to inhibit the adoption of EVs. So, like lots of you, we're very focused about getting plugged in and charged up, and we're very passionate about this. Now, one of the enablers to mainstreaming EVs is actually the adoption of fleets and EVs together. So you know the volume of fleets in the marketplace, you know the sort of purchasing that they do. The more of these vehicles that get into fleets, 3 years later they come out and they start mainstreaming into the consumer land. So fleets have got a particularly important role to play in here. They take a diverse range of vehicles from hatchbacks through light commercial vehicles, into heavy commercial vehicles, into buses, so they encompass a wide range, and that's got to be good. So we're very proud to support this particular award. Now, I've got a couple of notes here, so let me read this so I get it right before I open the envelope. It's a bit like the MEs, the winners in here. So this particular organisation, they had to submit applications summarising their business, their revenue, their market position. They had to talk about the value proposition to the customer that they were providing through this, and they had to give some reasons why EVs were important to both them, their business and their customer base. They had to supply their business profile over the last 5 years and why, importantly, they've taken the decision to move towards their EV fleet. Then the outcomes from having gone through that process and incorporated the EVs. The judges particularly said that they were impressed with the quality of the entries, and it was an extremely difficult decision to get to the winner. And it does sound like the Emmys, but apparently it's extremely true in this particular case. So the Fleet Champion of the Year, winner, Foodstuffs New Zealand. Which is also kind of cool because this is where I buy my groceries. But anyway, the judges said a couple of words which I think are actually quite important. Foodstuffs New Zealand, a national strategy championed by the company, has brought high visibility to EVs in a day-to-day environment. They're delivering groceries from EVWorld, Hack and Save, and Foursquare supermarkets around New Zealand. Foodstuffs presented an excellent submission, justifying that daily vehicle travel was well within the EV range for urban fleet requirements. Foodstuffs EV results show excellent learnings, significant carbon and cost savings, which can be gained for other urban delivery fleets. So a shining example.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All at a very competitive price, obviously. I'm a bit ill prepared for this, I'm afraid. Half an hour ago, I was on my hands and knees and trying to work out how to put this display together downstairs. And then I got a sniff of a drink up here, and so I'm here. It's been a really interesting journey and a very fast one, really, over the last 2 years. And I'm a bit of a fraud, really, because I sit around and come up with a few ideas, and then I tend to, where my skill is finding people to actually do the work for me. So I'd like to put a shout out to a gentleman who actually isn't with the GMO anymore, but Steve Vermillion. Steve, where are you? Well, he was here earlier. So Steve was really fundamental to putting the band project together. I remember sitting on some wet winter's afternoon in the office and looking at the demise of my home country and seeing the Brexit result, and then noticing that the exchange rate was working very much in favour of New Zealand, and then realising that basically the British government subsidised the EVs by about $5,000, or £5,000, but there was a bit of a loophole that enabled you then to export them. So all these things came together, and then I explained it to Ika, and Ika said, "Great." So all those things came together really, and about 6 months later, we had 28 of these fantastic little Nissan vans turning up on the shores. But the person who's really done all the hard work is Sigurd here, with regards to Brenner, of course. Before I employed Sigurd, he used to just ring me up on a monthly basis, or weekly, actually it seemed like a daily basis, just bothering me, and I thought, Jesus, how can I get rid of this guy? And then I got the project together, and I thought, I'll employ him, that'll be it. and it's worked out fantastically. So thanks Sigurd for all your hard efforts. And then we've got, as you'll see on the billboards downstairs, we've now got a fantastic fast charger program rolling out, again with ECA's help and of course with ChargeNet, our project partners on that. And so we will have, by the end of the year, is it 50? 60 maybe, 60 fast chargers in our stores all around the country. So filling in all the gaps that were there, and so yet another good reason to shop our stores. Great, so I'll leave it at that. So thank you very much. I think I've thanked everyone at ECA, Shibo, Sigurd and ChargeNet. It's been a great deal of fun, probably one of the best projects I've been involved with. And so thank you very much. I feel very humble accepting the award tonight. Thanks.
I'd like to acknowledge the 3 fantastic cities that are finalists this year. And I was talking to some other cities today saying next year let's get even more cities involved, and it's great to see some ECA funding, going to Palmerston North last night I read, and Gisborne, so I look forward to you being finalists next year. But our 3 finalists this year, well done to Wellington as one finalist, Whangarei, and then Christchurch. And we all know what's here. Now they've had to all do a lot of work to demonstrate a few things. They've had to show an investment into policy, into infrastructure, into resources to promote EV uptake in their communities. And they've had to show what they've done in the last 12 months and what they're doing in the following 12 months, and what the impact is to their community. So well done to those 3 amazing cities. The winner of the 2018 Most EV-Friendly Town of the Year is Whangarei. Whangarei District Council, Northland District Health Board, local EV evangelists and RevUp have closely collaborated to pioneer EV adoption in New Zealand. In May 2014, North Power opened NZ's first fast charger, located in Alexander Street, which they tell me is also known as EV Mecca. The town boasts one of the highest concentrations of EVs in the country. Whangarei as a town has shown a commitment to a very collaborative approach for a relatively small town. The judges particularly commended the Northern Regional Council on their 10-year plan for Vision Zero, zero emissions, 0 car crashes and 0 hassles. So well done Whangarei, and just imagine when you get Yugo Share.
Woohoo! Now that was worth the drive down from Whangarei in my hybrid to make it here. Wow! Can I thank the Kate, Kirsten, it's the KT, and congratulations all to the finalists Christchurch and Wellington. But I'm wrecked at Whangarei, obviously. I'm a proud mayor of Whangarei. We really are on this amazing determination to be the highest quality little provincial city in the world, and this really adds to our dressage of beautiful awards. This really does, though, pay tribute to the Regional Council and the collaboration that Whangarei District Council has with our partners in the NRC. So I really want Paul Dimmery to say some words as well. But truly, the real kudos has to go to our champion of champions, Joe Caruso. Joe is our conscience. He is about EVs and where we're going, and without Joe we wouldn't have this award, so thank you, Joe.
Thanks very much. It's a surprise, a shock, and great being rewarded from Joe. I have to echo Mia's words. He's just in your ear all the time. It's absolutely magic. I'm exceptionally proud and very excited about this, so thank you very much.
There is a new award being introduced into the ceremony tonight. It's a very special award and it's a one-off. So treasure this moment. It's a one-off and it's for very good reason, and it's outstanding contribution to EVs in New Zealand. So it's a goodie. So we need a very special person to dish that out. I would like to invite our EVWorld New Zealand Champions Award judge, Mike Underhill, to the stage to give out to this marvellous award. Mike, no pressure, no pressure.
I and my fellow judges, Stella Stocks from the AA and Liz Yeaman, ex of ECA, when we went through these awards, there were some fantastic entries in these awards, there really were, and it was very difficult to make some of the decisions. But it seemed to us, and amongst them all, there was an opportunity for a special Outstanding Contribution Award. So we didn't have too much difficulty thinking who that might be, and with a drum roll, this award is a one-off special honour chosen by the judges to be awarded to Steve and Dee West. Keep going. So we felt, the three of us, this was Stella, Liz and myself, that, and we were unanimous in this, we probably wouldn't have the 90,000 EVs in New Zealand without the commitment and passion that Steve and Dee have infused with the community. And we purposely said Steve and Dee because we all know that Steve's a really boring person. But if you take the average passion from both Steve and Dee, they're both fantastic. Can't speak yet. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you do, they've really turned that passion through the establishment of the Better New Zealand Charitable Trust, leading the charge road trip, and they foster these communities of really highly engaged people and passionate evangelists, we sound almost religious here, as well as bringing visibility and publicity to EVs right across the country. Steve and Dee's business, ChargeNet, has taken on this vital role. So this is not a small business. By the end of the year, there'll be 105 fast chargers installed through New Zealand. That's a significant. And with no promotion here, they've just opened their 100th. So. Furthermore, Steve and Dee regularly advise and work alongside government. I used to be in government. It was always an experience when Steve and Dee came to give advice to the government. The energy sector, the motor industry, local government, business and schools to create greater awareness and understanding of the importance of electric vehicles in a low-carbon New Zealand. Regularly participate in the EV Awareness Facebook page. And as a new owner said, which I don't think was either of you, I have found that the work that Steve and Dee have done to be invaluable. It is clear from the activity I've seen and the personal experience that they have been a massive driving force in the EV community. I agree with that. Yeah. So well done.
Thanks, Mike. I'm afraid I'm too emotional to give a speech. But here's what I prepared earlier.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Okay, it's 3.5 minutes, so yeah. appreciation to all of you for the work you've done, are doing, and will continue to do. I wouldn't have prepared anything or given it much thought. Instead, I just point to people and say, oh my God, I love you, and I love you. Thank you so much, you're a rock star. And then carry on and walk off stage. Instead, I actually gave it some thought this time. And here's what came to mind. The terracotta warriors. You know them, right? They were uncovered in China in 1974, 8,000 figures and hundreds of chariots and horses. An army created to protect an emperor in his next life. People come from all over the world to see this new wonder of the ancient world. And you know what strikes me most about the terracotta warriors? Every single face is individual. Every single, and it's an amazing reminder that no matter how powerful or strong an army, and no matter how intimidating a team, it's always made up of unique and beautiful individuals. This is a metaphorical reminder that one person alone, no matter how capable, achieves nothing of lasting value by themselves. Even Newton said, "If I have seen farther, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." I know that I'm looking at a room full of giants tonight. Individual people, individual faces that have formed an army of sorts to help transform New Zealand and lead us to a brighter, cleaner future together. None of us can move firmly or quickly forward unless we do it together. The world's changing, and the days of siloing and backbiting, they must be put behind us. Technology and innovation are moving far too quickly for us to tightly guard our knowledge or keep our passions and abilities to ourselves. We need to communicate, we need to set goals, and we need to move forward together. Now there's a word for that. I wonder what that word could be. Collaboration! Thank you very much. And there has been a lot of it in the brief 3.5 years since Steve and I started on our journey. Which means there's a lot of thanking to do, but I'm not going to, don't worry. I'll start with just the teams at Target and Soul PR, the amazing people that I'm honored to work with daily, baby face vampire. He just doesn't age. He just does not age. Anyway, the champions, the businesses, the partners, and the supporters. I wish I could call you all out by name and recognize every one of those individual faces, but rest assured, I love and appreciate you and your support with all the fervor that this little moment mark could ever muster. Together, we have pulled out some amazing stuff. In January 2015, there was 500 cars. 500. We're knocking on the door of 10,000 cars. Kids, we have way more EVs than our neighbors in Australia who have 10 times the population. And the momentum here, I'm shaking, the momentum here is greater than it was in Norway at the equivalent stage of the transformation. Learning from them is further proof that collaboration is king in our culture. And we are so grateful to all those who share our vision here and overseas for cleaner, kinder, smarter transport and energy independence for this island paradise. I keep missing words. The sky's the limit. It's a cleaner, bluer, clearer one at that. This is an incredible time to be alive, everyone, and innovation and knowledge can and will get us through some very dark times. So together we'll bring forward a better future for the generations who have been left with a bit of a mess. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Conferenz, for the award. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And let's all keep collaborating and playing nicely so that we can find ways to a better future together.
The next award is the EV Sector Sales and Service Champion Award. It's an important one, and I would like to invite our sponsor, Cliff McKenna, Principal Academic Senior Manager from the Wellington Institute of Technology and Whakarea Community Polytechnic, to the stage to present the award. Welcome up, Cliff.
Welltech Whakarea New Zealand Polytechs believe the EV Sales and Service Champion Award is important as it highlights those businesses that have made the most significant contribution to the EV fleet in the last 12 months through sales, service and education. We pride ourselves, Welltech and Whakarea Polytechnics, pride ourselves on being at the forefront of education in the EV sector, both locally through training up apprentices and educating existing business owners, to nationally by working with other ITPs and industry training working groups to develop qualifications and training courses that complement and support those who are nominated for this award. This award recognises those organisations that are involved in the provision and delivery of excellent service to EV owners and users in New Zealand. This is not exclusive to, but would include OEMs, distributors, retailers, motor trade, electricity, tourism and insurance. A weighting of 50% was given to the customer votes conducted via a Facebook poll on EVWorld New Zealand and shared across the EV owners page and beyond. Applicants were required to outline the following: a summary of the business, its overall market position and service offering, how EVs fit into the overall product and service proposition, the education and service strategy and measurement of customer experience and satisfaction, and testimonials from customers to support the application. So, the EV Sales and Service Champion for 2018 is GVI Electra. Words to say about Hayden and his team. So GVI Electric show fantastic commitment to sales and service of its customers as detailed in many of the testimonials submitted as part of the nomination process. GVI has opened a second EV centre in Wellington, allowing them to deliver better service to existing owners in the Lower North Island, as well as assisting others to join EV life. The online public poll results backed a majority judgment decision.
Getting this much attention, it's because you've been on fair go. Pretty proud that I've been on there. I was amazed for setting up here last year to be winning it again. For us to be winning it again, myself and my team, I'm really proud. It's certainly not something I do on my own. We've got a wonderful team behind me. Russell's the only one here tonight. Unfortunately, there aren't more of us. We're all spread thin. As Cliff said, we've just opened a new yard in Wellington, dedicated EV centre, which we're pushing really hard to get cranking. And we've got a few guys who are away getting married and sick, but we're here. Also, we couldn't do it without our partners. We're blessed to be associated with some amazing people in the EV community. Obviously, Steve and Dee, we don't need to say any more about them, they're the most amazing people in the world. James as well, who works with them, he's been a huge help to us and really brought us forward. Walter, he sort of makes comment that he couldn't do it without us. Well, we certainly couldn't do it without him. Yeah, he fixes all the boo-boos and he keeps them running. And Paul as well from OEM.
Thanks, mate.
That's right. that $20 went a long way to make sure. He provides safe charging solutions for us and for our customers. So, we were standing here last year and we had about 4,000 EVs on the road. And now, as he said, we're knocking on 10. That's incredible. And there's a lot of people in this room that are responsible for that. And it's, I'm so proud when I drive to work and I used to sort of play spot the EV and you might drive for a week and I'd see something. And now every day I'll see half a dozen EVs and everyone I see I smile, whether it's a Tesla or a Leaf or an Ioniq or an i3, it's just great to see more and more of them on the road and more normal people driving them. We used to have I consider myself one of those weirdos. I've been driving one for a while, but going with the sort of the physicists and the electrical engineers and the real boffins, they used to come and bust out balls. And they wanted to buy the car, but they wanted to have a real good go at it too. Let's make this car that was work for it. Now we're just getting mum and dad's driving them, and they're happy. And you talk to them, and they just can't believe what they're part of. And I'm really honoured to be able to offer that and to be part of it as well. So. Thank you very much for everybody, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Thank you.
And we have our grand finale, the EV Champion of the Year. Our last award, and certainly not our least, and we could not have this award without our fabulous sponsors. Al Yates, where are you lurking? From Ecotricity, get up onto the stage immediately to present the 2018 EV Champion of the Year award, and how marvellous it is to see you. You haven't aged a day.
Oh, stop it.
That was lying.
Thank you, Kate.
Anytime, anytime.
Right, first of all, before I get started, Dee, that was outstanding. That speech is going to be very hard to follow for anyone that's going to be up on the stage afterwards. But secondly, you guys are an absolute inspiration. GVI, you guys rock. I've seen a lot of your number plates around the place, so you guys are absolutely stunning. But Joe and Whangarei, that's a real highlight of tonight. It was a close contest, I'm sure, but I remember the first year that actually there was a rapid charger that was put into New Zealand and it wasn't Whangarei. And the EV uptake of Whangarei residents was higher than any other city. So little changes like that make a huge difference. I just want to... And Russell Watson.
Yes.
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 Sorry. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Thanks, Uncle Steve. Okay, so I don't want to promote ourselves too much, but we are the only carbon zero, 100% renewable electricity provider in New Zealand.
Yes.
Sourced from wind, hydro, and solar. We do not source from the Hunting power station. I'm just saying. Okay, so positive change. Not looking at anyone, sorry, Julian. Positive change in the community always starts with the action of an individual. Nationwide change is always led by the actions of a community. And that's why the individuals, if we can scroll the individuals onto the screen please, that's why these individuals are so vital in making positive changes nationwide. That's why these individuals that you see here on the screen are so vital in the urgent needs in the transition away from fossil fuels. And I think with what we're seeing with California fires, the urgency is getting harder and we need to act. Everyone in this room, you guys are game changers and just work that much harder because we need you. So for this award, these nominations is designed to recognise the individuals who are personally invested in the promotion of EVs. These are the individuals who are acting in their own time to support communities in the transition to electric transportation. And if I can just ask each of the nominees to put your hand up just so that everyone around them can give them a bit of a bear hug. So who have we got here? Is that it? We've got Henrik Moller over here, Flip the Fleets. We've got Justin Boyd. Yep, over there. And Martin Kane, who spends a lot of time on social media, as does Henrik Moller, I believe. So, nominations were required to outline how the champion has demonstrated commitment to promoting the uptake of EVs and/or electric bikes, and how the champion assisted this vision to be achieved, and the champion's proudest achievements in doing so. Drum roll, please. The 2018 EV Champion of the Year is Martin Kane. I've got a bit of a spiel here, so I'll run through it very quickly. Martin is a classic regional champion, completely voluntary, with a chartered history of commitment over a number of years. This includes being the first to drive an EV through Arthur's Pass, down to Haas, to Wanaka, Oamaru, Waimate, and back to Timaru, while negotiating with a lot of camping grounds to offer plug share. I know how that works. Martin saw Uber's arrival in Christchurch as an opportunity to promote EVs, driving from Timaru for weekends to do Uber shifts, and then returning to his maths class for Monday morning. As a teacher at Craighead Diocesan School in Timaru, Martin is well known for incorporating electric vehicles as the basis for some of his maths problems. Martin is a tireless, forever optimistic EV advocate, being the go-to media person on anything EV related in South Canterbury, so well done. Martin is always at Dunedin, Christchurch and EV events and regularly offers his car for test drives. I look forward to renting it in Christchurch and Timaru next time. Martin is quoted as saying that he promotes EV transport for the sake of the future generations, which I totally agree with, and he wants to slow global warming and sincerely believes the adoption of EVs can help achieve this. Well done, Martin.
Good man.
I've just moved to eco-tricity, got solar panels and moved to eco-tricity. This is very much a surprise. I honestly thought I was at the bottom of that list, and I did assume that someone would actually tell me in advance that this was going to happen. Like, nudge, won't we have a speech ready? That has not happened. I had no idea. I honestly thought, with what you reckon everyone else is doing, I'm just so blown away by this. My journey started, and this is why I'm so amazed and so happy to see Steve, that works! Steve and Dee combined to get that award. That's marvellous. At the Better NZ Trust stand tomorrow, make sure you have a look at some of those stories from the EV champions. My one talks about why I got started and what kicked me from, when I needed a new car to going electric. And it was hearing Steve on Radio NZ way back in 2014, I think, that changed my world, and he was going to put in the charges around the place. Look, I really want to dedicate this to those tireless volunteers in every one of our regions who go out there 5, 10, whatever times a year to get people behind the wheel, because that's what's going to sell EVs. It's the users of them who promote them. We've got some really keen dealers out there now who are starting to know what EVs are all about, and we've got dealers who are starting to get there as well. But look, to those people who get others behind the wheel and let them drive, hey, this is what we do, and this is really for all of us. I'm just one of you.
No preparation. I think he did pretty bloody well, didn't he? That was excellent. Congratulations, new EV Champion of the Year, and thanks to Al and the team at Ecotricity for sponsoring that big award. I've actually been reminded of a couple of things listening to you guys and thinking about last year as well. There's a few people in this room that know that I am a terrible road rage driver. I am the personification of the Auckland plonker who drives so badly and so aggressively and so nastily that no one ever smiles at me when I drove. And that's what also changed when I drove the EV around. I got weird strangers smiling at me and at traffic lights and all over the place. And it made me realise, and Dee's touched on it, and in fact quite a few of you in your winners' speeches tonight have touched on the fact that it just feels good. You feel like you're doing something that means something. And that is something for the planet in the future, but also that just genuinely feels good. And I don't usually get that on the roads, ever. And I'd like to thank all of you in the room. Dee also mentioned in her speech that gets the Oscar, doesn't it? It was a pretty good speech. Reminding us about collaboration. It takes passion and it takes collaboration for things to get done and to make things happen. And the enthusiasm doesn't get missed either. And you guys all are representative of that and all the effort and work that you put in. So even though Hayden doesn't reckon you're normal, you're my kind of normal, and I'm sure he agrees and agrees with me as well. That is enough from me. I'd like to thank the sponsors and the judges and the lovely crew for organising the awards and for being part of it, for taking all the time and effort, and I really want you to enjoy the next couple of days as well, and celebrate and have a few drinks. And thank you, congratulations, great to see you all, thanks.